lot of things, where the attendings were more on board with Child Life. At first, they were shutting me out completely. They didn't want me involved in anything. They didn't want me to be there for any procedures, nothing. And I just kept trying and trying and trying. And finally, after probably a good 2 months with working with one attending, he would literally kick me out of the room, and I would just keep coming back. It worked. One time it worked. I had a 4-year-old patient who had to get a blood draw, and I walked in, and I helped distract the child with one of those viewfinders, and he sat there on his dad's lap, stuck his arm out, and they were able to do the blood draw with it being so smoothly, not holding him down with like 10 doctors. And the doctor walked out of the room, and he came up to me and he says, I made the largest mistake for shutting you out to begin with. He's like, you've completely changed my view as to what your role is. So from there on, it went much smoother, but it was a positive experience.
Wow. That is a positive experience. It makes you feel better about yourself. And I know that we already covered this, but what is your educational background?
Okay, so I have a bachelor's in recreation administration. And then I went back to school and received my master's in child life at Bank Street College of Education in New York.
Okay. And one question that I have, like just personally, is working in the medical field. You're working in hospitals, you're working in rehab centers, you're working with PTs, OTs, nurses, doctors, and you're just a child life specialist. Like we have that name where we're like not as great as everyone else. So were there ever any times where you were with nurses and they were just like rude to you or mean to you about what you were doing? I know you mentioned the doctor one, but nurses.
Yeah, I think that they get a bad rap because there's so many of them. They don't know, but it could be really with any medical team member. But yeah, I definitely rubbed elbows with a few nurses. But then once they realize what I do and my personality comes out, and that I'm just this big, like, goofball that tries to make the kids laugh and enjoy themselves. I try to make the nurses and the medical team have a good experience while they're there. Then they start to warm up. I think a lot of times, especially with nursing, they are threatened by us. Here we come in and we have bubbles and we're trying to make it happier, and they're the ones who are actually doing the intervention. They're sticking them with the needles. So, the child is going to be more likely to like the child life specialist and angry at the nurse.
Yeah.
That's why there's that power struggle. But when you bring it in as that this is a team and working together, it makes the experience much better. Also, I remember complimenting the nursing staff and saying that was really tough for you too. Like, you did a great job at helping the child get through this. If the child would ever say anything negative about nursing or other medical team members, you never agree with them because you don't want to bash the medical team members. You can validate their feelings and say, it must be really difficult for you to go through these experiences, but they're here to help you as well. I mean, their job, they don't want to stick you with needles. They don't want to force medication down your throat, but that's what they're trying to do in order to help you. So when you give them that light, then it helps. And then, the nursing, they begin to understand that you're on their side.
That's great.